All right, everyone, welcome to another fantastic episode of World's Finest. As always, we are your hosts for the evening. I am here with LT, and my name is Lee, and we're excited to be back here with you guys. LT, good day. How are you, my friend?
Hey man, how are you? It's been a while. Well, at least what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, we had to take a little bit of a
Well,
hiatus there, man, over the
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving holiday.
Thanksgiving break, so it's understandable.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed, had to get our grub on. You know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
then I was in no shape to do any recording fat belly that I had. So
You didn't want to show your stretchy pants.
exactly. No, but a lot of stuff has transpired since we have been gone. A lot of great things have happened. So why don't we just jump into it, man? We've had the Eternals has
Right.
come out since we were last recording. Uh, LT, I know you had a chance to see it. I think did you get a chance to see it opening weekend? Did
I
you
did.
go, or were
That's
you?
that
Yeah.
Sunday, in fact. Yeah.
Okay. I saw it. I think the week after. It had been out at least a week or so before I had seen it. Um, what were your initial thoughts, man, on the Eternals? Just curious to know.
Well, it was a very good movie, but I went in with the notion of somehow seeing or connecting or anything to the anything prior as far as the MCU. They did mention, of course, Thanos, the snap. They mentioned the Avengers, in fact, but I went in thinking, oh, we might see a cameo or something. They're going to somehow tie it, but it was nothing. It was just a totally different, not so much story. Of course, it was different, but it was not what I was expecting. I mean, again, I thought it was really good. I really liked the storyline. On top of that, not knowing who any of these characters were,
Right.
uh, I found it very enjoyable, but there were some parts that could have just they could have shortened it a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
Overall, it was a really good movie, and I did become a fan of what's I don't even know these characters' names. the
Icarus.
well, Icarus was cool until we found out he was not the bad guy, but he was, you know, what's her face? The Flash girl,
Makari.
Makari. I loved her. I mean,
Yes.
she didn't have a speaking role or anything, but oh, she was awesome. I loved her. But again, I enjoyed it. It's not what I expected. I might want to see it again just to see what I missed because
Mhm.
when I went in and just trying to absorb everything, actually, I was trying to look for any kind of Easter egg. But no. What about you? I mean, did you like it?
You know, I did like it as well. You and I talked a little bit about in previous episodes how this was one movie that, you and I being comic book aficionados, we know a lot of history about both Marvel and DC. Eternals, though, is someone who I really can not recall ever, maybe heard him mentioned, but I don't remember even reading a story with him in it. If it does, I don't recall it. You know what I mean? These were really just unknown characters to me in the Marvel universe.
Exactly.
I did go in, so I'd already heard from some people before I saw it because I didn't see it opening weekend. So a lot of people that I talked to were like, So I don't know. They were, and so I think because of that and my expectations, I really didn't have high expectations. I guess I did. Marvel movies, you have high expectations going into it. After 10 years, they've kind of earned that. You know what I mean? From you,
Right, right.
you want to. They've never really failed to entertain me. Uh, so because everybody though that I talked to said, I was like, went in there, my expectations were lowered. So I went in there, it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Like,
No,
I just thought it was going to be like, oh, my brother saw it and he was like, it just seemed like he loves Marvel. I mean, he loves making fun of the fact that DC can never keep up with Marvel and all that stuff. So he does. He's never been so much a comic book fan, but he loves the movies, the movies and what they've done with them.
right.
So all of this stuff. So I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. To your point, yes, there's definitely some scenes that it could have been shortened. I guess my son, we saw it together. He was like, he was kind of like, the fight scene. There's not that many fight scenes, and the fight scenes that there are, they aren't that great. You know what I mean? It was like not a lot of action to keep him interested. And again, that's Marvel has done a job of entertaining you, when giving some fantastic action scenes as well. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
With entertaining with the story. So I do think though where they shined is they had the ability to really give 10 characters, 10 characters a solid introduction. You
right,
know what I mean? And you kind of know who these characters are. But Gilgamesh, I would say, and probably Makari were the two characters who probably didn't get, who got the short end. But out of
right,
10 characters, somebody is. But even those characters, they still got a lot of time to shine. You got to feel like you knew them and who they were. But I think they did a fantastic job. They did a better job introducing the Justice League than DC did introducing the Justice League.
right.
You know what I mean? They really did. They really did, in my opinion. Um, I was kind of taken aback that Salma Hayek, Ajax, was
Right.
kind of taken out of the movie so quickly. You know what I mean? I didn't expect that. I didn't see it coming, which is why this movie kind of earned some points with me. I didn't see Icarus
Icarus being
being
yeah.
the bad guy. You know what I mean? And him killing Ajax and all that stuff. I just didn't see that. So if a movie can get me, I usually pride myself in being like, oh, I know, I can see where that's going. I didn't see that coming. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that was very surprising. So that earned it some brownie points. I think what they were trying to do, in my opinion, what Marvel was trying to do here, and a lot of people have accused them of this with other movies, just kind of, they make the movie to kind of just further the story along, so to speak. You know what I mean with these characters, and I think that's
Right.
what Eternals really was. So, and I saw that more than I've seen in other films, even though other people have pointed that out about Marvel movies. And I think that's what this was. It was a big introduction to the Celestials and all of these characters that who knows if we'll even get an Eternals 2. I don't think there's any plans for that right now, or it hasn't been announced. But I think these characters that were introduced will be seen in various other movies,
Right. Well, I mean, the that
Marvel
last
movies.
ending, the secret ending or mid-credit ending, kind of set up something, but it's not going to be, it wasn't, something that they'll set up in Eternals 2 about, I mean,
Right.
we've got the Celestials out there. We find out that Thanos was a eternal or some of it eternal, right? Was it of the
I don't
same?
know if he's
I want to see not an eternal. I want because his brother at the end we find out,
Star
yeah,
Fox. Yeah.
Firefox was a
Star Fox.
Star Fox. See, I don't even know. I don't know these characters. Anyway, he said he was an eternal, did he not? I mean, are we talking?
But see, the Eternals to me were, and again, I'm being introduced to these guys in the movie as opposed to comics. To me, Eternals, from what I took away, they were like artificial intelligence or like, androids or whatever, some type of humanoids that were created. You know what I mean? And and it sounds like there's a variety of different batch of Eternals on every different planet that's being set up to birth these
Right,
Celestials.
right,
So maybe, maybe Thanos is I don't know if he was an Eternal, but I think maybe what Star Fox is a half Eternal or something like that because he's a half brother of Thanos. I
yeah.
don't think he's a full brother of Thanos.
I
So
don't know.
maybe somehow the affiliation. And I do know Star Fox because, back before 2000s, the Avengers was almost like a hodgepodge. A lot of people think Avengers and they think, oh, that's the version of the Justice League. And it is to an extent. But the Justice League always had, except for the Justice League Detroit segue that they did, where it was Aquaman and Vixen and Vibe and all and Martian
Right,
Manhunter and all those guys. You know what I mean? That Detroit Justice League, but for the most part, it's always been the main DC heroes. Especially during the satellite era. The Justice League satellite era when they had all those guys, and then definitely the run in the '90s when they had the seven.
the main, yeah,
Manhunter, the main seven. But Avengers in the '80s and typically through after they were created has always been like a hodgepodge of characters like Black Knight, who was introduced in the Eternals. He's been an Avenger. Hawkeye, of course, and then like Dr. Druid, or just these weird characters that were, it wasn't like always the main Avengers or main Marvel characters.
right,
So my whole rant is Star Fox during the run in the 80s when they was reading the Avengers. He was an Avenger
He was an
at
Avenger.
that point. You know,
Mm.
yeah, it was, it was, so I do know I was introduced to him during that time. So I do know a little bit about him. Anyway, I'm just rambling now, but I thought that was I like that they introduced him. To me, it was like this movie was made just to do a bunch of introductions,
Yeah,
you know,
because I mean, if you didn't know any better, you didn't know who Kit Carrington's character was. As far as him being Black Knight, even at
yeah,
the
yeah.
end when he got the sort of something I forgot what it was called, sort of shadows,
No,
or
not
I
the
don't
sort of
know.
woman.
Is it sort of
No, that's
Thundercats?
Thundercats. Yeah.
I was gonna say sort of Soros, but that's what's
Yeah.
his face, Azrael. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. So anyway,
Ebony Blade, the Ebony Blade, the Ebony Blade.
Evan Wade. Okay. See, I wouldn't. No one would have known that. I mean, I knew who he was because of our comic, background. But
Yeah.
even on
Yeah.
top
See,
of, if
see,
I hadn't,
Black Knight was one of those Avengers from the
yeah, yeah,
80s. One of those, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. These are not main characters. These are side characters that used to populate the Avengers. You know what I
on
mean? All the
top of
time.
that voice at the end, I didn't know who it was until I read about it later. Did you? You know who that voice was?
Blade, my friend.
Blade,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, dude. So that was so I'm saying they introduced the Black Knight, that's grow later on. Blade, of course, Star Fox, all these characters that were introduced. And like I said, the Eternals, maybe there will be an Eternals sequel down the line, but I think we'll see these
Well, I
Eternals
want to
characters
say
in other films,
I also
besides an Eternals movie.
right. I read that Salma Hayek has signed up for 2 more Marvel movies, or 3 total. So I
Oh,
I doubt she would be in anything else other than who she was here.
right.
So
Well, and I have done a little bit of research, so to speak, on the Eternals. I know they can be remade, kind of,
true.
so even Icarus, even though he killed himself at the end, sorry, spoiler there for guys. He killed himself at the end. He could always come. They could be remade, I guess. The machines that they were grown in, or what have you.
Or oh yeah, or even what's the kid's name? Sprite, who gave up her powers. Well, she didn't give them up. She gave them up actually. You
Yeah,
know, now she's gonna be what, human?
yeah.
Or
Which they did. They had to do that for her though, because if they do make other movies and they want that girl to be in there,
she's
how do
gonna
they explain that all of a sudden she starts to grow? You know what I mean? I understood why they did that plot point there to say, oh, because they could always give her powers back, or maybe she keeps them or something
yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? So, but at least they can say, oh, she's grown now because became a
Yeah.
human, and maybe they can bestow her powers back later on. You know, but
Yeah.
but I thought it was. I didn't. Go ahead.
No, I was like, I'm all for an Eternals too. It really,
Yeah,
I thought it was good. I mean, of course, with a lot of origin movies, most of the time it's a slow churn to get to know these people. So now that we know
yeah,
who these people are, Eternals 2 can just start off, real quick.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to
Yeah.
know backstory.
No, and like I said, I think each character brought a little. They each character had a little time to shine. Cersei. I like the fact that Gemma Chan. She was actually in. She played a minor role in Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
and then they recast. Use the same actress, but put her in a different role here in the Eternals
Mhm.
as Cersei. Angelina Jolie as Athena. I think she did an awesome job. It was really cool to see her in the film. So everybody did really. Brian Tyree Henry plays Fastos. I thought that was
Bastards.
cool. I like the fact, and even though this was nowhere near as funny as some of the other ones, they did still have a lot of humor. When he was trying to give them the engine,
Oh,
the engine, they were like, no, and he was like, well, here's a plow. It plows.
he
You know
just
what I
plows.
mean? Yeah, back when they were in the 1600s or whatever it was,
Yeah.
BC time. Um, but no, it was good. Druig, of course, I liked his character too. the guy who the telepath, all good stuff. I liked how they even made some Marvel dropped like two DC comments in there.
Oh,
Talking
Batman
about
and
Icarus being
Superman.
Superman. Exactly. It was almost like they were strutting their stuff. They're like, we're so big now, we could actually just mention the competitor who
The
was beneath us.
competition.
Yeah,
Now,
you know.
what do you think Batman and Superman and those references are to them actual being comics in that universe or actual
Yes.
people, right?
No, they're not people.
They're not
They
real
are
Superman. Yeah. So,
they're not. No. Because
that's
where
kind of
where were they during the Thanos battle? The DC series,
true.
you know? Yeah. No. I think they're just that was them saying that they exist in literature or fictitious world within this fictitious world. You know.
Right. Right.
So yeah. So no. So good. I know this drops early January on Disney Plus too. So I know you said you wanted to go back and
I
rewatch,
want to
so
watch
we'll
it
all get
again.
to
Yeah.
rewatch it. Yeah. So cool. I think again, I know it's not a huge hit for them, but I think again it's not a miss. I do know it's unfortunate that this is the first Marvel movie that was not rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. That was
Did
just
you see that
because of
too?
the
Yeah.
critic score and but I mean,
Yeah.
it's really the
Audience
fans that
score
make
wasn't
it.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Audience score wasn't too bad, but the critic score. So no, all good stuff, guys. We recommend the film. I definitely think it's going to be a vital piece of Marvel puzzle moving forward in phase 4 and beyond. There's a lot of
Right.
introductions, and I think we will see these characters again, whether or not it's an Eternals 2 or just other various Marvel movies. So yeah, dude. I gotta say, I wonder though how we're gonna get those references of the celestial that's kind of half in the ocean. I mean,
Right.
it's got to be referenced in other Marvel movies moving forward. And then the fact that this celestial also appeared to everyone on Earth and grabbed people. I mean, everybody saw it.
What?
You
I
know
mean,
what
what
I mean?
the
Yeah, that
cool
was
part about
wild.
that on a totally different note, now you can see Fantastic Four and what's his face being
Galactus. Yeah.
Galactus being a viable character in a movie that like that. We just saw someone that huge. So
I know. That was
I
wild.
mean,
That was wild.
unlike
They're all good
the
stuff.
original Fantastic
Cloud.
Four movie when Galactus was a cloud or something.
Rise of the Silver Surfer. Yes, the
What?
best. The
Eh.
less said about that, the best. Man, terrible.
So
So
anyway,
we
yeah,
also, yeah,
on that level,
we
I'm
also,
glad they introduced something like that.
oh, for sure, 100%. Um, we also had, so we again we recommend the Eternals, guys.
Agreed.
Um, on, so we also had the whatchamacallit came out not too long ago, this last week as well, Hawkeye, which is
Okay.
the latest Marvel thing. Um, that just dropped last week. The first 2 episodes. I, I'm gonna turn it over to you, man, for your
It's
first initial
it's
thoughts.
too it's too early to tell. I mean, I love the character. I mean, I love the character only because I love Green Arrow in DC, the DC universe, and they're almost the same thing, Uh,
Mhm.
but this show, the first 2 episodes, it just seems too, what's the word? Oh, it seems too PG-13. It seems too kiddie so far. I mean, again, it's only the first 2 episodes. They're setting up all the drama, introducing Kate Bishop, showing us where Hawkeye is now in his life after, Avengers, after the snap, after everything. However, it's just it's too kiddie so far, man. I don't I don't again, I should have not gone into it expecting, say, that the action of WandaVision or Captain America Falcon, just because, you know, on top of that, it's during Christmas time. He's with his family. So far, he's all family man. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm enjoying it, yes, but I don't know. We got did when did they drop? Did the episode 3 already drop
I think
yesterday?
episode 3 dropped today.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I
And
think
there's
they,
what? There's 6 episodes, right?
yeah, 6. So we got 4 more.
4 more. So
Mhm.
they have a
Or three,
lot.
three more after today. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot to tie in. I mean, especially referencing the ending of Black Widow when what's her
Elena.
face, basically told her that Clint killed Natasha.
Yep.
We still have well, we still have everything. I don't know. I mean, what do you think so far?
I actually enjoyed it a little bit more than you did, I think. Uh, you know, it's I love Rogers the musical.
Oh my god,
Uh I thought that was pretty
that was
awesome. And
hilarious.
I love that by even showing that musical, there's still within the Hawkeye showing how Hawkeye gets the short shift, the short straw all the time. You know what I mean? By even saying Ant-Man
It's
had
like
a bigger part to play in the
that
Battle
guy
of New
wasn't
York than
even there.
he did. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was interesting. Um, I like that. What I will say is that I find that Hawkeye again to me gets the short end of the stick yet again, even in his own show, because I feel like he was almost a supporting character in this. And maybe it'll change as it goes on, as the episodes go on. But I felt like he was almost a supporting character in his own show, because Kate seemed to get of
She got a lot more
more
screen
screen
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Kate Bishop. So I think it's it says a lot really to me that Hawkeye and Black Widow get their movies and television show, but the whole reason they get their television show and movie is to hand the baton over to the next Black Widow, next Hawkeye.
The next
You know what
Hawkeye.
I mean? That's
Right.
just kind of what this seems to me is happening. A lot of the rumors are that Hawkeye, this is going to be the transition between the Hawkeyes, between Clinton and Kate Bishop. I personally don't want to see him go away. I like to see him actually stick around.
Yeah,
Hawkeye's never been a major favorite character of
continue to
mine.
mentor. Yeah.
I did like West Coast Avengers back in the day, and he was a main character in West Coast Avengers. He led them. That it was a series that ran in the 80s.
Right. Right.
So I
Yeah,
thought
White
I
Vision.
did read that. Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Iron Man was in it, but it was the James Rhodes Iron Man. It was
Yeah.
during the time when Tony started quit being Iron Man due to the alcoholism and all of that stuff. Excuse me. But no, I think it's good. I think that I think they're leading us to Kingpin with Echo. There's been lots of rumors that we'll get Wilson Fisk back in this film, back in the Marvel universe. Of course, he was introduced in the Daredevil TV show
Daredevil.
that was on Netflix. There's been heavy rumors, of course, that both Matt Murdock, the same actor who played him in Daredevil, will be popping up in the Spider-Man movie,
Spider-Man.
and again, the same character who played Kingpin / Wilson Fisk is going to show up in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Because most people, Netflix was, Daredevil was always the most well-received show from those Netflix Marvel shows. And then I think, people love the portrayal that both of those guys
It got
did.
3 seasons, right? That Daredevil, or is it 2?
Daredevil did get 3 seasons.
Three
Did you
seasons.
watch it by chance?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I saw
Yeah.
all 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah. It was
way
really
better
good.
than, of course, the other three: Iron Fist, Luke
Yeah.
Cage, and Punisher,
Jessica
and
Jones.
yeah, Jessica
And
Jones.
oh, for the Punisher too. Yeah.
I like
Um,
Punisher, but it was, yeah, no, Daredevil was a lot,
yeah. And Vincent D'Onofrio is the actor I was thinking of plays with Kingpin. So
yeah,
the rumors are he's going to bring him back in this, and they are kind of leading us to that with Echo. The appearance of Echo. She showed up at the very end of season or episode 2.
right.
You know, and she's actually getting her own show also here. They introduced that during Disney Plus Day.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. So, first 2 episodes in, I'm enjoying it. I do wish, I hope we get more focused on Hawkeye, Clint Barton's character as it moves forward. But I enjoyed what I saw so far. I did. That was pretty good.
Yeah, the part I kind of didn't like was like he didn't want to go back, but he went back to help Kate. And I guess so far the bad guys that we've seen, the tracksuit, was it the tracksuit
Mafia.
tracksuit
Yeah.
mafia, are just coming over as jokes. So there's just no real enemy yet. So
Yeah.
that's what's it's just uh making me hope the Echo, a lot more bad comes out. So it'd be
Right.
great to see Kingpin finally. But
Now, I never read any of Hawkeye's solo runs, and I think this is based or an adaptation somewhat of a more recent Hawkeye run, like in the past 5 years, from what I understand it. Guys out there who do read, who've been reading comics recently, let us know if that's accurate or not. If you listen to this, if that's indeed the Hawkeye run, what it's based on here in the past 5 years or so. But my point bringing that up is that Tracksuit Mafia, I believe, was an actual group
Group.
that was focused, or that's lifted from that series.
Right.
So yeah, but no, I mean, we got, like I said, we got 4 episodes left, man. I think that last one comes out the week after Spider-Man comes out, so maybe there'll be some big reveals in that. And I think the timeline's a little, maybe not, though, because I think it's a little wonky. I know that the when I understand, this is 2 years after Endgame.
After, really?
Hawkeye takes place 2 years after Endgame, while WandaVision was only a few weeks after Endgame.
Hmm.
And then Spider-Man, of course, is maybe just like 6 months or so after it.
Right
So
after.
it's just interesting with the timeline all fits it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So no, man,
Marvel's good at tying everything together at the end. So yeah.
Exactly.
All we have to do is
Exactly.
wait and watch.
Yep. Yep. Which I'm more than happy to do.
Right.
So now, dude, we talked about that. So we talked about the 2 Marvel shows. I think since we last recorded, Titans came to an end. Also, I've always spoken very highly of this show, and again, it just didn't disappoint. I think they had a really strong run in season 3. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to have seen Scarecrow become more of actually, see him in his get up. I think that's one thing that we missed out on. We never actually saw Jonathan Crane be the Scarecrow.
No, we saw his mask. We saw him look at it, pick it up, but we never saw him put it on.
Yeah. And I think that was a big miss, in my opinion. I don't know if they couldn't do that because of the whole weird Batman.
The
fact
Batman rule.
That Bruce Wayne can't be Batman. He can be Bruce Wayne, but he can't be Batman. And I will say that's one out of them. Also, since we're talking about Titans, I think and it's good. I still hate their portrayal of Bruce Wayne in this even more. The dude tried to kill himself. You know what I mean? He just gave up. I mean, I was just like, the way they portrayed him, just insane to me. They're doing a fantastic job with Dick Grayson.
Oh yeah.
They could make it a little bit more. They could make him a little bit more. Dick's not as morose and as serious as he is in the show. The character of Dick Grayson.
Right.
They could lighten him up a little bit. They actually have him being more like Batman. You know what I mean? Or more like in this.
Yeah, well, he had to step up on this because Batman took off. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I also Jason Todd, Red Hood. I'm happy that they somehow involved or rewrote to a degree his origin story as far as the Lazarus pit. I'm glad that was still kept in. I mean, to a degree of how he became Red Hood. Because I was wondering, how are they talked about Ra's al Ghul, but they didn't show him, Ra's al Ghul,
right? Yeah,
being the one who helped Jason Todd. I liked his storyline. I like how they how he left, basically, which I'm hoping we get a spinoff, of Jason Todd, of Red Hood and the Outlaws. That'd be a great show because they did speak about Red Arrow
Harper.
Arson.
They mentioned
Roy Harper, Arson, which is an outlaw, one of Red Hood's outlaws.
Yep.
And the third outlaw, of course, is Starfire, but I doubt she'll, leave that show for another one. But and then we saw Donna Troy leave to join Argus. And we see the Titans heading back to San Francisco. So on top of that, we got to see Beast Boy become another another animal beside a tiger.
Yeah, we did.
Finally.
Make him a bat. Yep.
We got to we had a good closure, a goodbye to Hawk. He's gone. Blackfire, her story. She was going back to Tamarin, right? Or
Yes, she was. Yep.
yeah,
Because they were able to recreate the spaceship.
yeah. So
Superboy helped them do that. Yeah.
yeah, no,
This
I
is
bel
this.
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's like I believe they've already been signed up for seasons what 4 and 5.
Yeah, they are. We're definitely going to get 2 more seasons. The fact that they talk about Ra's al Ghul so much near the end makes me feel like maybe he'll pop up and make an appearance in season 4. Because they seem to mention his name quite a bit in the last 2 episodes.
And as much as
Who
I
knows?
love Batman, I just hope he doesn't come out because that version of Batman's just. Ugh.
Yeah,
And they
I'm
didn't
with
even
you.
explain how Donna Troy came back to Bruce Wayne right before he killed himself. What?
Yeah,
They
no,
didn't
I
explain
know
that
it
like at
didn't make
all.
any sense. No,
Ugh.
and then how she got to wherever because he was like overseas somewhere
In the
in a
middle of
different country,
nowhere on
and then
a
all of a sudden Donna,
castle.
yeah, and then Donna's next thing you know walking to Gotham or something like that, or was taking a.
Ugh.
Well, it was just like that was a little jump in what, but how she came to save Batman or Bruce from burning up in the house because he had set a fire and just killed himself, just all craziness. Yeah, his portrayal is best left not even said, not
Yeah, that's
discussed. I think
why
it's
I hope they get back to San Francisco with no more mention of Batman. I mean, we got Nightwing now. Nightwing as it is only goes to Bruce when he needs help. He just doesn't
yeah,
like, hey, let me go to Gotham and play around.
exactly, dude,
Oh
exactly.
yeah, because there's a lot of good Teen Titan stories out there. I mean, we still could, there's a lot of other characters to introduce. We got Terra to introduce, Aqualad, we got, Ravager to bring back. There's a lot of
Uh,
Teen Titans, they can play with. So
yeah, what happened to Ravagers? I
yeah,
forgot about her. They didn't even mention her in
they
season 3 at
didn't
all.
yeah. And she was all, yeah, and I think they should
I totally forgot.
Deathstroke back. I mean, he went out like a punk in part 2 in season 2. I
Yeah,
would love to bring him back with do the what's that move? What's
Judas contract.
Judas contract with Terra and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, bring,
hmm
do some kind of storyline about that. Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, there's a lot of storyline left there that doesn't need to involve Batman.
exactly. So true, man. So very true. Well, so we talked about that. What two other shows we want to talk about before we wrap up. And I know both of us are still a little bit behind on everything, but I know Flash Armageddon, they just started a 5-part storyline. The Arrowverse for the past few years, besides
Right.
last year during COVID, they've had a lot of big crossovers. This is kind of their version of a crossover, but it's a little different because I think each episode is just going to be a new guest star. It's not going to be like they're all teaming
Right.
up
It's
and taking
all
out
it's
something.
all happening in the Flash series, not
Yeah, all
one in
happening in the
Arrow,
Flash, but
one in Flash. Yeah.
right. But it's also what I'm saying. I think what's happening is that they're not going to have because Black Lightning and then the Atom are all in the crossovers, but they're not going to be in the same episode. Each
Right, right.
character is getting an episode to deal with. So, it's not going to be a big team up, so to speak, but it's just
Right.
Flash teaming up with solo characters. I have to say this, man, and I've been watching The Flash since day one. I started with Arrow day one. And dude, I find it like I am fighting myself to watch these Arrowverse shows these days, dude. I
Really?
don't know what's happening. The
I have
Flash, man, it's just gotten so bad to me. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just having the graphics are terrible. They just are. The special effects uh, are just not good. They're just not good.
uh,
And I don't get it. I'm like, guys, what's happening? What's
I
happening?
I love the Flash as a character, and I only started watching it because it was basically a spin-off or a sideshow to Arrow. And now that Arrow is
Yeah.
gone, I kind of started just teetering off Arrow. There's a lot of episodes I haven't seen. I've seen, like the season right before COVID. I don't even remember. I can't even remember what it was about.
Of which one? Of who you're talking about, Arrow or Flash?
Flash. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was about, and I barely have seen episode one of this Armageddon. I mean, I'm going to watch it, of course, but no, I agree. It's just gotten. I don't know if at what point have they did they jump the shark where it's just they're trying too hard or trying too little to make a show, but you know,
And the ratings are being reflected too. I mean, I know from what I understand, the season one premiere of Flash drew like under 1 million viewers, and this is like the Armageddon event, and so if anything, the premieres usually get the highest number. So part of me feels like this is the last season for the Flash. I really feel like this might be season 8. I think this is the beginning of season 8. I think this might be the beginning of the end for
well, I
those
mean,
guys. I mean, Supergirl ended
Supergirl's
season
gone.
6. Yeah,
Yeah,
and Black Light they shut Black Lightning down season 4 of that one. I do think the Arrowverse. I've mentioned this before. I think the Arrowverse is going to be drifting away in favor of more shows like Superman and Lois. You can tell the budget is 100 times
uh,
bigger on Superman and
I
Lois
was
than it is on like
really,
it's filmed differently and everything
I
on
was
than and any of the other
happily
Arrowverse.
happily surprised by that show. It's a
Yeah.
really good show.
So,
Yeah,
take us in that universe, continue to do shows, even though that's technically part of the Arrowverse. Of course, it was spun off from the Arrowverse, and they've had appearances from Diggle and from
Diggle
Arrow,
came.
and there's was
Yeah,
connected for
in fact,
sure. It just
uh,
looks 100 times better.
yeah, Lucy Lane is coming for season 2
Yeah.
from
Yep.
Supergirl. So
Yep. So it's definitely connected. It's just, I think they just need to give these shows more quality budgets, and a lot of it's due to the fact that Superman and Lois is also funded by HBO Max somehow is behind it
right,
as well, because I know it shows sometimes on that. It's got the budget of Stargirl, which we're going to talk about next, and Titan, which obviously Flash and Arrow, those guys do not have that budget whatsoever. They
right.
just don't. It's pretty bad. But speaking of Stargirl, I know we're both kind of halfway through there as well. They both introduced, both Flash and Stargirl introduced really major out there villains. Despero with Despero with Flash,
Right.
and then
Eclipse.
Eclipso with Stargirl.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Stargirl so far? What you saying?
I loved season 1. I really didn't think I was going to like it as much. I mean, it was a girl in high school. Yay, high school kids. But, you know, after they really explained that these are not so much the prodigy or continuation of the Justice Society characters.
Yeah.
I really got into it. And then when they started introducing um more baddies, I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty good. And now
Mhm.
season 2 started. We've got we were introduced to some more characters. We got Jade coming back, which is not coming back, introduced. Green
Daughter of
Arrow,
Alan
Alan
Scott,
Scott's daughter.
Green Lantern.
um
Yeah.
we've got who else did they introduce, man? Like I said, I'm only up to episode 4, I believe. I
They
know we've
introduced
got.
her.
I'm sorry.
Introduce her. And Calypso is the bad guy. I don't think they introduced any new characters. New
We know that what's his face is still alive.
Starman.
Starman's alive, and
Yeah.
he's we getting his way back up to wherever this place is.
Yep.
Uh, I mean, I've already spoiled myself because I know who's coming out later. We're actually going to see the Justice Society of
Mm-hmm.
America with Jay Garrick Flash, crossover uh from the Flash with
Yeah.
what's his face, John Wesley's ship.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be back as Jay Garrick Flash from the Justice Society, which is totally awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they showed a lot of I saw a trailer for that episode with all the Justice Society members. So I'm hoping they come back more in future episodes. I mean, I don't know how. Like I said, I'm still so far behind in this series. I don't know how they're even going to get there. Is it maybe is it a flashback? Is it
Who knows? Probably a flashback is what I'm thinking.
But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it so far. I really that was another show that surprised me. Again, the
Yeah.
graphics aren't the best, but they are way better than Flash.
Yes,
I
they
mean,
are.
a lot better than Flash. And story wise, it's pretty good. I like it. I'm
Yeah.
looking
You'll
forward
be
to
both.
setting up some time to finish or not or catch up, not finish because it's still going strong right now.
No, it's over.
What is it? Season
Yeah.
season two's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, season two's over. It's over.
Uh,
You just gotta catch up with it now,
well,
my friend.
crap.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it
well,
ended maybe 3 or 4
see, the
weeks ago.
reason I guess I'm basing that on is because that they have Stargirl on HBO Max season one. So I thought,
Right.
once season two was over, they'd put it on and it's still not there. So, okay, well, good to know because
I know. Yeah, I
man, I'm
looked for
behind.
it myself not too long ago. I've got it on my DVR right now. And I was like, you know what? It's over. It's like I said 3 or 4 weeks ago.
How
But HBO
many?
Max maybe a week or
So
two
is it
ago. And I was like,
over?
oh, I'll just look at
Is it over for the season or is it mid
for the
season?
season. For the season. It was
How
like
many
10
episodes?
episodes. Maybe 10, 13, 12,
What?
something like that. Yeah, it was like they do short, just like Titans, it was a 10 episode or 12 episode season. So that's how they're running
Wow.
Star. Yeah. So
Okay, well, I've got some homework. Damn
yeah.
it.
Indeed. Well, we both do, man. We'll try to catch up on that, and we'll kind of we'll give you guys our thoughts on both Stargirl, when that how that wraps up. We'll finish that up. We'll talk about Hawkeye. We got a lot of good things coming up here to talk about the next few weeks, guys. For sure. LT, I think I've said it all, man. Have we said it all, or am I missing anything? I mean, we talked about Titans. We
No, I
talked
mean,
about
yeah.
Eternals, Hawkeye. Excited to see where that goes. And yeah,
No. I mean, here's as of this recording, it's what Spider-Man in what 3 weeks coming out, 2 weeks,
yeah, 17 days or something like that.
something like that. So we will be talking about that after.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, big
Yeah, we
time
might even have
because
to do.
we'll probably just
We'll have to
dedicate
do
a whole episode
record.
just.
Oh my gosh, there'll be so much stuff about that for sure. I've gone back and started to revisit some of the older Spider-Man movies, for my daughter specifically, because she's going to see Spider-Man with us. She's 10. And
Nice.
so I don't want her to be confused when these other two Spider-Man come rolling out of nowhere. So we watched Andrew Garfield, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then she stayed home sick today. So we watched a little bit of Spider-Man 2. Uh, I took a little break with her and had some
Right.
lunch with her. We watched a little bit of Spider-Man 2 today. Yeah, and I gotta say, man, I know, and we'll wrap up with this. I know the Amazing Spider-Man series was not really well received, but I gotta tell you, man, I thought Andrew Garfield did a great job as Peter Parker.
No,
I really
I
did. I
liked it.
really did. I really enjoyed Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know that's kind of what almost killed that franchise. Wasn't as well received. It made less money than any other Spider-Man movies.
Right.
Um, and that's why we never got the part 3 to that as they had planned with the Secret Six and all of that. That was supposed to be or Sinister Six that
Sinister
was supposed to be
Six.
coming out. Yeah. But I rewatching it again, I was like, I liked him as Spider-Man. I really, really did. So anyway, my point is just go back and rewatching those to get everybody primed up for
Yes.
Toby and Andrew here the next few
And
weeks.
unfortunately, you'll have to see Spider-Man 3 with the Topher
Yeah.
Grace Venom.
I don't know if I wanted to go. I just needed her to see those two guys in the Spider-Man movies before Andrew and Toby. I don't know if I'm going to revisit the
Yeah, I mean,
trilogies.
if we see that Sandman is coming, I mean, whether we see Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman,
Right.
still, we still need to see that, but just to go back and reference to see who he is, you have to watch that that movie.
Yeah. For sure.
Anyway, I try to forget
Cool,
about
man.
that Venom.
I know for sure.
Uh,
That'd be funny if we see Topher Grace pop up in there, Eric Foreman here, and
How funny.
but no, well, guys, listen, thank you so much for joining us. We've had a great time as we always do, talking shop.
Yes.
LT, man, it's been a great time. Thank you very much, my friend. For, as always, I've enjoyed the conversation. Guys, let us know your thoughts on anything. Please do what you want to see us talk about on the show. LT, thank you very much.
Man,
Guys, we will be
appreciate it.
back next week talking about some good stuff.
Will do,
All right,
man.
everyone.
We'll see y'all. Thanks.
Take care. Later.